Jeff Kaplan has regarded Orisa as another anchor tank in Overwatch, side by side with Reinhardt. But the new Overwatch hero is more of a static fortress than the German, making her the perfect tank option to defend your back line. Fusion Driver is Orisa's auto attack and her only form of damage. That being said, you aren't lacking damage at all. Orisa has great range, solid damage at range, high sustained fire, as well as low recoil and bullet spread. Her long reload time is a drawback, but it's compensated by having a 200-round magazine. First off, 200 bullets is plenty. Break the habit of constantly reloading or you're gonna drop in the damage department. There's no reason for you to reload after every kill or after only firing 50 bullets. However, reload whenever it is safe to, after team wipes, after multi-kills, and while repositioning. Halt is the quadruped's alternate fire. When activated, you'll shoot out a non-damaging green pulse which you can reactivate for a mini gravitation surge. Mostly, you should be using this to reposition any DPS or support character, but the ability is nearly useless without a follow-up. You'll likely need decent communication to snag kills with this, though it's not bad as a harassment tool. You can also use this ability to get environmental boop kills. You can punish opponents fairly easily when they're hugging a ledge. You can also pull Bastion out of sentry mode with this ability. Orisa's Fortify ability has absurd clutch potential. It reduces your damage taken, but also makes you invulnerable to any crowd control effects. This means no getting booped to your death, no Reinhardt charge, no Roadhog hooks, and no May blizzards if timed correctly. Never ever use this ability every single time it's off cooldown. Save it for when you see something coming. The enemy team will likely not be using their crowd control on you when your Fortify is up. But that's just all the better for you because it's not like you wanted to waste it anyway. The other team is forced to use multiple abilities to disable you, one to force out Fortify and one after. With Protection Barrier, you can drop a directed stationary barrier, which is basically half a side of Winston's bubble. The shield reacts like every other barrier, but it stays in only that position. This makes Protection Barrier most useful for the backline DPS and support on your team. Although you provide decent cover for the backline, you aren't forced to babysit them, nor should you. Find new angles to get your sustained DPS in, but stay within the reasonable backline area. The best usage from Protection Barrier is to counter any ultimates the team might throw out at you. You can block plenty of AoE ultimates like Reapers, as well as directed ultimates like Soldiers. Unfortunately, you can't always save the shield for these moments unless you're tag teaming with a good Reinhardt. The Supercharger ability is quite straightforward. You drop a damage booster on any friendly character that's in sight. Supercharger's range is massive, but it is fairly weak. The damage booster is open to destruction by flankers, so you may want to place it a little closer in the middle of your team on most maps. On Volskaya's Point B, for example, you can place the Supercharger on the outside doorway and it'll reach all the way to the objective. As far as counters go, a few Overwatch communities have regarded Pharah as a counter to Orisa. However, that is far from the case as Orisa can easily shoot down Pharah. Maybe not as easily as Soldier, but she definitely does the trick. What's more, Pharah shouldn't be able to boop Orisa due to Fortify. Flankers or quick movers are going to be the issue here, especially if your aim is garbage. You have a lot of bullets and a lot of damage potential, but if your aim is bad, you'll just be a utility machine. That being said, Sombra, arguably one of the weakest characters and lesser picked heroes of late, is the prime counter to Orisa. She'll disable your big utility bank, and regardless of aim, this will make the 24th hero fairly mediocre. If you agree with these points, or have your own points to contribute, let's get the conversation going in the comments below. You're watching esports on PvP Live.